What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Just Kidding channel. So today we're going to continue with the 240. I'm going to run to Harbor Freight and pick up a Dremel and some drill bits so I can drill holes in the hood for the arrow catch pins, because as you know, we don't have a hood latch. So I'm going to go do that. I also need to run to AutoZone to get a hose that fits the cooling side of the blow-off valve bung area, I guess you can call it that, and then get some plugs for it so I can block that off so I don't have a vacuum leak. And then it should run fine. It should spool up the turbo fine. Try to see if that blow-off valve works properly. And yeah, we're also gonna try to see if we can fix that fuel issue. So I'm gonna try to see if I can. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna try to see again if I can flare the end of the hose, flare the end of the metal hose or whatever, and try to see if that works. If it doesn't, I'm not sure what else to do. Maybe I'm gonna use electrical tape and then put that over, or I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. Have to figure it out, because there's the reason why the car is not running. It takes forever to prime the pump and then start, then it will start, you know what I mean? So I want to keep it on a consistent basis. So enough of me rambling, we're just gonna go do this. So I found two stock locations on the radiator support for the arrow catch pins, and they line up perfect with each other. So I'm gonna use both sides, and then it'll be good. Just gotta cut two holes the size of the arrow catch pins in the hood. Okay, so I'm back, and I don't know if you could tell, but it's a lot darker than it was before. But so Ryan's cousin, if you don't know Ryan, he is my friend with the E92, and he has a white FRS. His cousin just had 10mm spacers in his Celica that he was getting rid of. So what are the odds of that? He also had energy suspension sway bar end link bushings, the same bushing that I have for my rear of my 240, and he was getting rid of them. So I grabbed those two, which is pretty dope because free parts, you know what I'm saying? So I'm back with majority of the things that I need to install the arrow catch pins, if not everything. And I got some self tappers to tap down the battery box. What else? And I think I may have figured out my issue with my rear lights. I think there is a ground that's on the back of the hatch that I completely forgot about. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I think that's the reason why the taillights aren't working. And if that is the case, I'm clearly an idiot. And yeah, but we're gonna try and see if we can start working on the arrow catch pins, and let's just get this done. This is another thing I didn't mention. So it's a rubber expansion plug. Hopefully this fits, you know, that little part of, or this part of the intercooler piping. Hopefully it fits. It looks like it's gonna be a little too big, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, so let's just get this started. Alright, so right away I was wrong. That is actually too small. It's literally the same exact size, but it does fit in this hose that I picked up. I figured I would need a hose, but I got this rubber plug because just in case, you know. So it just so happens that this one fits in there and not the other one. So I actually lucked out by trying to save myself, you know. So anyways, gonna tighten this end, hose clamp that to that side, and then we should be good. Alright, that may not look the best. Probably the best option would be to cut it off and have somebody aluminum weld it closed, but it'll work for right now. So I really want to start it up and see how well it works, but I should worry about everything else first. I still have that fuel issue, which is upsetting, and it's supposed to rain hard as hell right now, so I'm gonna just try to see what I can get done before. So this fuel thing could wait for another time. I could still drive it without it on, without it working 100%. Alright, so if you were wondering why the pins are so high, it's only because I have to put paint on the top on both sides, close it to see where it marks, and then I can start drilling. Alright, it's starting to get a little dark on camera, but this is how they're gonna sit. So you basically trace out how it's gonna be on the hood using a marker, or what would usually people just put down like tape. What kind of tape? You know what I mean. So they just put down tape just to mark it off, and then they draw on the tape so no metal shards fly. I'm trying to see if I can find my tape so I can do that, and then we can continue. Right now, where you can tell it's getting a little dark, I did my absolute best trying to outline it. I'm gonna start cutting. Wish me luck. What's going on, guys? Today is a new day, and so from the things that I got from Ryan, the spacers useless because they don't fit the bolt pattern. The energy suspension bushings are good, and I borrowed his drill, so I was able to tap certain things around the car, you know, fasten them down. So we got the tail lights working because there was one more ground that was stuck in the hatch that I pulled out. Put a fitting on that, grounded it, tail lights work. As for the interior of the car, I did remove the dash again, but this was off camera. I removed the dash again to try and see if I can figure out why my cluster wasn't working. It was working before, but now it's not. I also put the fuse box against the chassis so it's not down by my legs anymore. Wrapped some wires in electrical tape and things to that nature. So we're gonna dive back in, see what we can get done today. I really want to get these hood pins done, but it's hard because that Dremel only cuts a little small pieces at a time, you know. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get that done. But enough talking. I know y'all don't like to hear what I say. You like to see what I do. So let's just keep it going. Alright, well, my mic is kind of messed up. It's not mounted on top of my camera like it's supposed to. So you guys might not get that quality audio how you normally do. But so this is where I'm at inside the interior of the car. It still may look like a mess, but it definitely looks better from before because I wrapped all the wires in electrical tape. See? So it makes it look even neater, protects it. I'm going to start putting the dash back in now, get the cluster back in, and then we can continue from there. But I'm liking the cleaner look when it comes to the wiring. Then we're gonna start doing everything else because on camera this car looks like a mess. Alright, so a problem that we are having right now is that the car runs with this vacuum leak, but it's blowing out air. This shit doesn't make any sense. Ryan, start it up. So as you can tell, it's running right now and it's idling perfectly fine. But if I were to cover my hand right here, dies. That shit makes no fucking sense. Cause this guy had an S15. I watched his video, and in his same video, he did exactly what I did. He blocked off this portion of the pipe, and his car ran perfectly fine. So I don't know what the fuck I'm missing, and if you guys can tell me, I would appreciate it. Because there's nothing blocking the entire, like the intercooler, nothing, no other vacuum leaks. So we really have no idea what the fuck is going on with this. As far as the interior of my car, it looks a lot better than before with the wiring all at the foot. Zip tied that up. I do have the plastic trim pieces for the column. Alright, I really had to go in for a while because I was starting to get pissed off and I reached my limit. So in order for me not to break anything, I just walked away. So I'm gonna try and see if I can do everything else. These street faction brackets aren't that good because I'm trying to align it on the other side and it's hitting. It's not supposed to, but it's hitting. Alright, so in the meantime, while the car is not fucking running, I'm gonna while I set up my seat to the best of my ability. Honestly, do not like the street faction seat brackets. I think they're fucking trash. Well, they're not that bad, but they just don't work for me. How about that? So whatever, I'm gonna try and see if I can bleed these rear calipers for the hydro, get that done. I was gonna bleed the brakes earlier, but I was too frustrated, so I'm gonna just try to see if I could do the hydro now. And then there's really nothing else I can do because the car doesn't fucking start. So I cleaned up the inside. So I mean, you probably can't tell, but the footwell's pretty clean. Back here is pretty clean. Seat is clean. Dash is back in, and you don't see any of the wires. I took them up there pretty nicely. Yeah, the only wires you're gonna see is if you're in the car is on the passenger side, because the red power cable right there, and the ECU wiring, and in the center because a radio was supposed to be there. So that's about it. I'm gonna try to see if I can do these calipers though. Alright, so the hydro is now bled. That shit was a decent amount of work doing it by myself. I had to rig it up because I had no one to pull it, so I had to rig it as if I was pulling it so I could bleed the calipers. I do want to bleed the brakes, but I'm definitely gonna need another person for that. So I'll wait and see who is available to help me out with that. Seat is in permanently. I just need one more bolt. This side, there's no way a bolt is gonna fit through there because the bolt is right on the edge. So I'm just not even gonna put that there. You guys could say, oh, nah, that's mad sus or whatever, but I really don't care. As long as I have the other one in, and then all four, I should be alright. I mean, the rest of them, I should be alright. So, yeah, well, at least we bled the hydro today. Nothing else really got done besides the fact that I cleaned this. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, I drove it to flip it around so it faces the opposite way, and it's mad trash, to say the least, because I still had no power steering because that fucking retarded ass reservoir, and it doesn't stay on because I don't know, and having the welded diff, it just whatever. I think I may need to bleed my clutch again because the pedal feels like it's getting a little soft, so I'm probably gonna have to do that. But yeah, sorry not much got done in this video, but only so much I can do. Actually, let me try and see if I can bleed the rear brakes for the pedal now. So what I'm gonna do is, since it's up on this angle, it should force all the air to the back of the car. So hopefully opening the bleeder a little crack in the bleeder would give it some, well, allow some of the air to come out. And then I guess I'm gonna have to force something on the pedal in between the seat so it'll work. I don't know. Well, I'll let you guys know how it ends up. Alright, I'm sorry, it's mad dark. Yeah, I can't really change that. But the brakes, my trick of bleeding the brakes actually worked for all 3 calipers except the last one because the pedal got too stiff, so it didn't travel that far. But luckily enough, my sister came out to help me. But the pedal is stiff, like that. It's pretty stiff, so I'm expecting braking power to be really good. The hydro is stiff, so it should lock up like it should. I'm gonna leave the front wheels off because I should be getting a 10 mil spacer on Monday. And yeah, so far everything else is pretty much getting done while I try to figure out why my car is not running properly. Alright, so today is Sunday. Today is probably gonna be the last time in a while that I get to work on a 240 because of the fact that next weekend I'll be going away for 2 weeks. So and I won't be with my car unless I could register it this week and take it with me. But even then I might not be able to do that. But so this might be the last time I get to work on the car. So yeah, and that means no videos either. So I really want to get this running. So since the brakes have been bled, I should be able to drive it if it ran and it got into boost like it's supposed to. It doesn't seem to be happening. I honestly don't know why, because unless I have like a major vacuum leak, which doesn't make any sense. I tightened every single thing as you guys seen yesterday, so I really don't know why I'm not getting any boost. So unless there's some problem with the turbo or some problem with the intake manifold, I have no idea. The struggle is real because I've been out here like for hours in a day trying to figure this shit out. So I'm sorry if this is not going as you guys wanted to. It's not going as I wanted to either. It's very annoying, very time consuming, and yeah, well, I mean, at least we made progress with everything else. So the brakes are bled officially. I'm getting my wheel spacers tomorrow, so I'll be able to throw those on the front wheels, and hopefully the wheel clears the caliper. Then we'll be finished with that. As for the rear is basically done. Hydro is bled, rear calipers are bled. Yeah, I wanted to put this car on the wheels, so just to tighten down the end links, make sure they're super stiff. But I don't really know about that. I don't really want to go on the ground and all of that BS. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see what I can do today. I'm also getting a tripod soon, so you guys won't have to worry about me cutting in, cutting out, cutting in, cutting out. So I'll be able to place down the camera and have it record everything I do, because one of the upcoming videos is going to be very important, because I'm going to try and do that the Pexi Dijacho ECU. So yeah, but as far as everything else, I did what I could, and I'm still stuck at this position. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some advice from other people who have SRs or whatever, try to see what's going on with my car. Hopefully I can figure something out. Alright, so I just want to update you guys on what I think might be the problem. I don't think this Z32 math is working, only for the simple fact that I unplugged it and it was still running. So, you know, if you unplug something while the engine is running, then it means, and it continues, it obviously means that that wasn't affecting the way it was running. So I unplugged it, and it ran, so, which is weird. So I plugged it back in. Well, I mean, I left it off, trying to turn it back on. It didn't turn on. So I'm thinking maybe I grounded it wrong. I don't know. I'm gonna try and see if that is the case. If that is the case, then there's a simple fix. If it's not, then we're back to square one. Right, well, we're back to square one because that did absolutely nothing. I don't even know where to go from here. I tightened every single hose clamp down. This intercooler piping isn't going anywhere. Why isn't it running? I really don't know, because I've traced it all the way fucking back. Like, there's nothing in my exhaust to, like, I don't know, make back pressure or whatever, like forcing the turbo not to spin, obviously, because it ran with the hose thing off. So from the air filter to the mass airflow center to the intake piping, there's nothing blocking it. From the turbo to the hot side of the piping to the intercooler, there's nothing blocking it. From the cold side to the intercooler inside the intake manifold, there's nothing blocking it. So what the fuck is the problem? I'm really not understanding. And yesterday when I was with Ryan, I took this coupler off to see if this side would be sucking in air and this side is blowing out air. So this side is sucking more air than this is blowing. But the car wasn't running, so you can't even tell if there's something wrong with the turbo. You know, so it was just trying to turn itself over so you could feel a slight suck of air. So I really do not know what the problem is. Like, and if you guys know, could you like help me out, tell me what to do or whatever, because this shit is really annoying. I closed the wastegate even more, so if it was like barely any pressure, it wouldn't open. So yeah, I tried to even do that and still nothing. So I really don't understand what the problem is. Alright guys, so I guess this will conclude this weekend's video, only because I do not know how to move forward from here. So like I said, if you guys have any ideas, can you please let me know, because it'll help me out a lot. So yeah, I still gotta find a place to mount the power steering reservoir. Honestly, I feel like I should just cut 2 holes on the side and 1 hole at the top, and just allow that to go through and have it sit behind here. I feel like I should, because the original mounting place is like in this area, so I don't think that it'll touch, because it'll be way up there, like in this area here, but I'm not entirely sure, so I definitely got to figure that out, or even maybe mount it like right here in this area somewhere. Hopefully I can figure it out soon. If not, then I just won't have power steering, because this is too much of a pain in the ass. Other than that, I gotta put the wiring inside here instead of having it out. So I'm gonna try and clean this up, put it inside. Try to see if I can find some nice wire loom, zip tie it nice. Try to see if I can get it on point, so if I do wind up drifting this car, I can pass tech. And yeah, so this is where we're at. The spaces are supposed to come tomorrow, hopefully, and well, maybe not tomorrow, probably like Wednesday. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully it works out how it's supposed to. Alright, so I've been asking around to see if anybody knows what my problem may be. Some people are saying, well, people are just saying a shit ton of stuff. So I'm just gonna try one thing that I was told. I don't know what's gonna be the end result of it, but it never hurts to try, right? So, sorry for the banging. So, I was told that this idle screw could make a difference. So I'm gonna twist it, see if anything happens. If not, still at square one. If it does, then hey, made some progress. I do want to mark it though. Hold on, let me mark it. Okay. So those 3 black lines have to match up. So I'm gonna just count how many times it makes a full circle, and then we'll see from there. Start moving. You're gonna have to loosen that first. Right. Twist this 1, 2 times. And twist this 1, 2 times. It's not even touching yet, so we're gonna have to do it right one more time. 1. Barely touching it. Barely touching it. On my way to my nose, that's it. Okay, no, but doesn't matter because it would not need to be. So let's try this, see if it works. Anything with that power position sensor. I don't know yet, but yeah, so let's try this first. So maybe we can go first and just go a little more to see if it's okay. I'm gonna sit back and start, so I'm sure it works. Alright, let's see. Again, but let's try to do it one more time. And nothing. We're trying to get it again. Let's see. Still nothing. Still at square one.